Welcome back to Second Watch on the YouTube and podcast homes for BamaOnLine.com. Travis Reier, senior analyst for BOL, the Sunday morning after Alabama's latest escape, this time a 24-21 win over the Arkansas Razorbacks Saturday at Bryant-Denny Stadium. We'll take you through the good, we'll take you through the bad, and in some instances, we'll take you through the ugly. We've got more than 13 minutes of highlights and lowlights to work through, so let's get started right now. And we'll get going with Alabama on the offensive side of the football. It is a 3rd and 8 for the Crimson Tide. Alabama in its 11 personnel. You see Amari Niblack off the ball there on about the hash mark at the 11-yard line. Jalen going to take a shotgun snap perfectly from Seth McLaughlin. He's looking to work this down to the left here. Once Amari Niblack, it looks like early. Niblack covered up. Milrow adjusts a little bit, and as you see up there in the top right, he's got Jace McClellan in the flat because Malik Benson has attracted the attention of a couple of defenders here on the hash mark at about the 25, but Jalen doesn't go up top to Jace. Instead, he's going to drift to his left, and you got a spy for Arkansas who was sitting on the sticks. And now here he comes with the pursuit, and it's going to be a minimal pickup for Jalen Milrow. Alabama going to have to punt the football early. And yeah, we're going to show you this punt because James Burnip, coming off the injury sustained against Texas A&M, what a performance from the junior on Saturday. 5 of his 7 punts in the game covered 50 yards or more. And here's one of them. He gets this going with a bomb to flip the field. Alabama in coverage. Wanted to show you this too because Quandarrius Robinson played some good football Saturday, not just in special teams, but on defense as well. Here you see Kendrick Law working as a gunner. He's there in pretty good shape. And this is a similar situation to what Aniyah Smith turned into an explosive return a week ago in College Station. This time, Nealon Hibbett down there in coverage, Emmanuel Henderson down there in coverage. But you'll see Q Robinson right here at the football. Just about takes a block in the back, but he's still able to make the tackle right there with emphasis at the 35-yard line. Again, 6 tackles for Q in the game on Saturday. I would think some type of player of the week honor is coming for Quandarrius Robinson from the Alabama coaching staff. We'll see. But really nice work there by Burnip and his coverage unit led by Quandarrius Robinson. So Arkansas now with 11:37 to go in the first quarter. 11 personnel for the Hogs here. KJ Jefferson in the gun, motion the tight end back across. Going to bring him back into a zone concept, but Alabama in good shape here in run defense. Watch Jaheim Otis on 62, as you saw there early anyway. He did a nice job of kind of setting that gap and allowing for his teammates to come over and make the stop on Dubinion. So 3rd and 10. Got a trips formation to the field, got the tight end into the boundary with the back offset to Jefferson's left. Alabama in its dime package. We run it. Shotgun snap. Alabama in pretty good shape with the 4-man pass rush. Dallas just about gets there, but he does affect KJ Jefferson enough to make him step up just a little bit. Looks like Jamarian Latham's going to get there. See 93? But give Jefferson a lot of credit. Look at Jefferson's eyes in the pocket. They stay up, and he's able to deliver a strike to the tight end right there. Not bad coverage from Alabama. Great quarterback play from KJ Jefferson. You'll see it again here. Dubinion releases. It's a mesh concept with the back and the wide receiver with the tight end over the top. You got your 2 defenders there, and Caleb Downs and Deontay Lawson a little bit tight, but not bad. This is just good ball placement. Great throw by KJ Jefferson. Arkansas able to move the sticks early. Here come the Hogs on a 2nd and 7 play a little bit later in the possession. Zone concept in the run game, and Jefferson's going to pull it here. And you watch Tesla, number 4, the wide receiver for Arkansas, and KJ lays him out. And look at this hit from Jalen Key. Tesla, I think, maybe needed a new battery after that one. Give that guy credit. He stayed in the game. Good shot from Jalen Key too. You watch those plays in real time these days, and you automatically think a targeting flag is coming, but it was certainly shoulder to sort of midsection there from Jalen Key, and it puts Arkansas in a 3rd and 7 now from the Alabama 37. Alabama once again in its dime look. And this is one of those situations that we talked about where opponents will still look to run the football. And that's the case here. And you watch this play back again, and you think if Jefferson gives the football there to DeBinion, there's the potential for a very big play. You'll see it because here comes Alabama in full pass rush mode. So look at this thing open up there off the right side if you give it to DeBinion, because Braswell has moved beyond the mesh point. Clearly, you've got the edge set out here on the perimeter. DeBinion's looking back. Fortunately for Alabama, Jefferson keeps the football there. And again, Quandarrius Robinson, we talked about him there in punt coverage. A good job. Jefferson's still able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, which sets up this bomb from Cam Little. Wrote about this in 5 predictions at BamaOnLine on Friday. Both of these kickers of the NFL caliber. Little, just a junior. And this is a guy over the last couple of seasons. He's kind of gone from a Jeremy Shelley type of kicker to a guy very much with an NFL future, because that's 55 yards and that hits the E in Allstate in the net. So it's a 3-0 lead for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Alabama now confronted offensively with a 2nd and 15. Boy, this offense, thank goodness for the explosive plays, because it seemingly lives in some really tough down and distance scenarios. Alabama here in 12 personnel, you'll see Amari Niblack get it up the field, but a nice job here by both the offensive guards for Alabama. You see 77, Jaden Roberts getting the edge there. Here comes Tyler Booker pulling around from the left side. He's got his guy. CJ Dupree gets just enough there of the linebacker, and that helps Jace rip off an explosive play. One more time. There you see Jaden Roberts. Here you see Tyler coming around from that left guard position. There's his block, and look at that split right there. You like that. Alabama hit this a couple of times with the pullers. And so Jace McClellan with a nice run early in the football game. 2nd and 5 for Alabama. And here comes some more issues in the pass rush for the Alabama offensive line. Specifically this time, Caden Proctor, who once again, bend and some speed are tough for the true freshman to deal with. You see Landon Jackson for Arkansas there get just enough bend to get the corner, and it's going to be a sack. You also had some leakage here. You'll see it with Jaden Roberts at the right guard position. But it is more Jackson than anything else, because right there, that little bit of bend. And Caden Proctor, that's an area where he will improve. And it's rough, man. When you're a true freshman and you're being consistently put in that position of one-on-one against SEC edge defenders, you're going to lose more than a few, I think. And he hasn't had the benefit of some guys before him, like Evan Neal, like Alex Leatherwood, guys who ultimately were tackles for Alabama, but got some time inside. And when I look at Caden Proctor right now, I see a guy that translates more to the interior, but that's not the need for Alabama right now, because you've got guys like Booker, you've got guys like Darian Dalcourt and Terrence Ferguson and Jaden Roberts. So you got to have a left tackle, and Alabama continues to platoon there with Elijah Pritchett and Caden Proctor. We run it a little bit later here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Arkansas from the Alabama 38. Jefferson in the gun. This is an action that we saw Alabama work on Milroe's interception against Texas A&M. That little fake toss, and then see your in-breaking routes there. But Alabama able to get home with Tresman Marshall. This was a really nice call against this protection, because Arkansas actually pulled a backside offensive lineman, as we'll see here on the replay. Watch it right here at the snap. Trez is ready to go. Justin Aboigbe, by the way, does a nice job in these stunts and games that Alabama works in the pass rush, kind of like a wide receiver that isn't the primary option in a route. He still works the game to help his teammate get open or get free in the pass rush. And you'll see it right here. There you see the right guard for Arkansas pull out. And when that tackle 75 blocks down, that's just enough to give Marshall a free run at KJ Jefferson, and he's able to get home against the Arkansas quarterback. So Alabama now, with 2:05 remaining in the first quarter, is in 11, actually is in 21 personnel. It's a two-back look for Alabama with Jam Miller and Jace McClellan on each side of Jalen Milroe. You'll run it here, and you look at this sequence, and if Jalen is reading that in to the side of the back, I guess it's understandable that he would keep it here. You got a couple of linemen pulling for Alabama in front of the quarterback, almost a quarterback counter. But when you look at it with Miller's speed, and this is something we'll see coming up a little bit later in the footage, you've got the field, you've got the wide side there with your back and your tight end leading Miller. Instead, Milroe keeps, and it's going to be a minimal game because you just don't have the numbers into the boundary that you had working to the wide side. And really, we talk about sequences that sort of sum up this Alabama offense right now. This is it, because you had an opportunity maybe for an explosive run on first down. You don't hit it. Now on 2nd and 10, you have an untimely shotgun snap that Milroe isn't anticipating. So it goes off of him. And this is actually good fortune for Alabama in that a lot of these snaps that there have been issues with, Milroe or someone has been able to get on top of. The concern is at some point, and especially at perhaps a critical juncture in a football game, one of these aren't going to go Alabama's way. And it's going to result in a very, very unfortunate turnover for the Alabama offense. Instead, Milroe gets on top of this one, which leads to a 3rd and 15. Now, maybe they called it 3rd and 14 officially, whatever. But this, again, sums up the Alabama offense. Nothing in the run game on first down when you had an opportunity maybe for an explosive. Misfire on a shotgun snap. Not really a misfire, but mistimed. And now on 3rd and 15, what the heck? Let's just take a shot deep. And you think about the deep ball to Isaiah Bond against Texas A&M. I think that was pretty similar to this concept. Not exactly alike, but man, when you see Kobe Prentice make that catch in the middle of the field going that direction, that brings some memories back, doesn't it? Maybe the Florida game in 2014 with Blake Sims to Kenyon Drake. I think Amari Cooper had one like that in that game as well, or maybe Tyrone Prothro against Florida in 2005. But Prentice is alone and running after the catch. And again, just Alabama offensive football illustrated right here. Similar to A&M last week, you got a safety kind of helping there in the middle of the field. And when he kind of comes up there, you get a double team on the tight end in the middle of the field, double move from Kobe, just enough time to get the ball out. Booker was there to clean it up just enough, and this is a really nicely thrown ball from Jalen Milroe to Kobe Prentice, who makes it good with the 79-yard touchdown reception there. Early on in the second quarter, Alabama with the football in 11 personnel. Jalen in the gun. He's going to look to throw it here as well. Good protection. Knows he's got man coverage to the bottom of the screen, and he's going to go ahead and take a shot. Elijah Pritchett in there at left tackle. Nice body control by Jermaine Burton, and he's able to make the grab for an explosive. A 3rd down, and this was a stretch here of about 10 minutes from late in the first quarter to about the midway point, later stages of the second quarter, where Alabama on 3rd down was really good. I think 4 of its 6 conversions in the game came in this span. But again, you're working 11 personnel, 2 wide receivers to the bottom. You're balanced up pretty much from a formational perspective. You've got Ja'Cory Brooks at the top of the screen, split out Amari Nyblack up there near the hash, off the ball. And you see Jacory kind of take that route a little bit inside towards the hash. He's trying to create some space for himself to the outside. And with Amari Nyblack running the flat route, you're holding that safety on him. And you got the opportunity to work the outside, and Jacory's able to create some nice separation and convert another 3rd and 15 situation. Arkansas bringing it pretty good in the pass rush. Jace with just enough there. And here is a nicely thrown ball to Jacory for a first down. Now you've got a 3rd and 2, and you're in 12 personnel there to the left side of the formation with CJ Dupree and Robbie Oots. But you motion Jacory back into the formation, and Jacory's got enough size that he can give you a little bit of almost 13 personnel. You can bring him in there tight with his size and be able to run the football with power. And that's what Alabama's looking to do here off the left side. Jalen working from under center, and he's going to go to Jace here. Arkansas's in pretty good shape, but watch Jacory right here on the cut. This syncs up very nicely because Jace is going to set this thing up just enough to the left edge, and Jacory gets just enough of 4 there for Arkansas that helps Jace convert that 3rd and 2. And with that, a couple plays later, it's time for the tide ride. The tush push, man, all the rage in football these days in short yardage situations. Alabama from under center. You got, gosh, this is like 23 personnel, right? It looks like 3 tight ends, a couple of running backs, and Jalen. And these guys are going to be able to push Jalen into the end zone quite easily. Nice surge from guard to guard there with the help coming from behind, even from a yard and a half out, as you see it there. Not all that difficult for Milroe to find the end zone. And that's important because that's a red zone touchdown for Alabama, something that it hasn't gotten enough of from its offense. In fact, just 1 of 2 in the red zone when it comes to touchdowns in this game Saturday. Will Reichert had the 30-yard field goal on the other opportunity. Meanwhile, Arkansas, 2 trips inside the red zone there in the second half. The Razorbacks went 2 for 2 and also converted a 2-point conversion. So 15 points for Arkansas off its 2 red zone trips against the Alabama defense. Midway through the second quarter, Arkansas back in that 11 personnel. 3rd and 6 for KJ Jefferson. Alabama bringing 5 and in good shape here because here comes Jamarian Latham from the interior and wins a one-on-one decisively. You'll see it here. Kind of an old school club move initially to give himself that room that he needed to his right to rip under. You know, back in the old days, that club, that slap would have been to the side of the helmet. That's no longer illegal, of course. But Jamarian bringing to mind maybe some Jonathan Allen right here against Texas A&M in 2016. Guard tries to get over and help, too late. Jamarian Latham with a very nice win one-on-one. As you see it here again, what turns out to be an attempt at a double team doesn't work as Jamarian Latham gets home on KJ Jefferson. 3rd and 5 for Alabama. 5:56 left in the second quarter. Going to motion the back out to the right flat. That's Jam Miller. So now you're essentially empty with 5-man protection and in really good shape here from a pass protection standpoint. Jalen has got the spy mirroring him there on the hash mark, but he's got time, which allows Kobe Prentice to open up underneath, and you convert the 3rd down nicely. You'll see it once again here with the spy totally intent on Jalen. Oh, that takes him out of coverage. So you got a 4-man pass rush with a spy. That's 5 guys. And if you get time, you should have this route open up. Jalen likes to drift a little bit, I think, to give himself the passing lane, to clear some things up for him from a vision perspective. This is a nice ball to Kobe Prentice, who gets the job done on 3rd down. Few plays later, it is a 1st and 10 for Alabama at the Arkansas 45 from 1 back, 1 tight end personnel. And here it is. This is what we talked about earlier. You see Latham pulling over from the right tackle position. You see Jaden Roberts pulling from the right guard position out in front of what could be a quarterback counter. Instead, though, this time you give the football to Jam Miller. And now look what you've got. Even if that end edge stays home, Miller's got enough speed that he can beat these guys to the corner, and he does it. Gets a couple of nice downfield blocks here from Prentice and Nyblack. And I think if he stays with the alley there, you see Malik Benson as well. There you see the pullers coming across, down blocking from the left. And as you can see, Miller can outrun these guys. He's got the speed to do that. Nyblack with a good job in space. There you see Prentice. And this is what I'm talking about right here. If Miller's able to stay a little bit more inside the scheme of the blocks there and work up the numbers, that may go for a touchdown. He turns it up just a little bit, ends up getting tackled there, but it is an explosive run for the second year back. And now Alabama once again going to motion the back out, split the back out down into the boundary. You got trips to the field, and Jam Miller will run just a little hitch down here at the bottom. He's got man coverage. And Arkansas is working off the belief that Amari Nyblack must not be an eligible receiver because nobody takes him here until it's too late. And it's an easy throw and catch for an Amari Nyblack touchdown there. There's backward hat guy. He's happy. We always like to spotlight backward hat guy or gal. So for Arkansas, now confronted with a 3rd and 10 with 3:52 left in the second quarter. Here is a spread look, goes to empty at the snap with the back coming to the field. Jefferson going to throw the tunnel screen on 3rd and 10. Pretty good stuff there by Jamarian Latham. If you watched him, he retraced like he's supposed to. He's in pretty good shape, but unfortunately for he and Deontay Lawson right here, in trying to make the tackle on Armstrong, he takes out Deontay Lawson simultaneously. And it's another one of those by a thread situations, kind of like last week that you had with Texas A&M. You know, kind of a tearaway jersey thing where you can't hang on to these undershirts. Jamarian can't get the tackle made, but Trey Amos, give him some credit. He does just enough to keep the receiver from a first down. I was a little surprised there. I thought at that point in a 21-6 game with about a half yard to go and a quarterback the size of KJ Jefferson that Sam Pittman would go for that on 4th and short. The Hogs did not. Hey, he must have figured, look, we're going to be down 24-6 in the second half. We're going to get a penalty against Alabama that's going to keep one of our possessions alive, and we'll be in this thing at the end. I'm sure Sam had that all figured out there late in the second quarter. So Alabama with the football here. 2:13 remaining before the half. It is once again 12 personnel. Here is Justice Haynes. And there you see Roberts pulling from that right guard position, doing a nice job there, right on the black line. Here comes Amari Nyblack inserting into what is essentially counter type action. Good stuff by Tyler Booker right there from the left guard position. And McLaughlin doing just enough, really nice patience and vision from Justice Haynes as he makes his move here in the middle of the defense. He's able to go ahead and run through a little bit of contact there, and it's a nice pickup for the freshman running back, Justice Haynes. Alabama now with a 1st and 10. Jalen looking to throw the football, and a couple of issues here in protection. One of the things, too, is when you've got 5-6 man pressure coming, see Amari Nyblack right there on the Arkansas 45. The ball's got to go immediately to that guy. That's your hot receiver. Instead, Jalen's looking up top. He's wanting to perhaps take another shot. The problem is his left tackle this time, Elijah Pritchett, is out over his skis, and Landon Jackson is putting together his draft day tape in this game. So Jackson's going to get there. Also, in terms of the right side of your pass protection, Justice Haynes a little bit soft. Nothing passive about pass pro. And we'll see it again here on the replay. You'll see Nyblack working flexed out to the right, and the pressure's going to come. And there's Haynes in good position, but as you see here, he takes the brunt of that from the blitzing linebacker. And Jackson's already winning on the edge. You see Nyblack crossing the field, but at this point, Jalen's eyes are already down. And so it's going to be a sack for the Arkansas Razorbacks. You move into the second half now, and this is where you want to see this Alabama offense take control of the game via the ground. You see the stat down there, total yards 278 to 98. Everything favoring Alabama considerably. I think Arkansas had 3 first downs in the first half. And so Alabama comes out in that 12 personnel with Jace offset, and here comes a split zone concept. Really good work up front. You had Oots inserting. See Oots right here? Nice job helping to create that seam. Seth McLaughlin doing a nice job as well here. And Jace with some emphasis after contact, maximizing that run. So very productive early run game for Alabama here in the second half. It's 11 personnel this time. But again, more of just a zone concept. Oots inserting, nice job. Tyler Booker, J.C. Latham doing a good job. Seth McLaughlin, one more time, he's getting to that linebacker level, doing enough. And Jace is able to split that for another 10, 12 yards. What about Jaden Roberts there at the end of that run? Hey, Jace, let me help you get about 3 more yards with this blast with a full running start. In Alabama, again, flexing some muscle via the ground. There you see it. Look at Oots right there. Nice job. Look at McLaughlin. Look at Tyler Booker turning his guy out. That's good stuff in the run game. And Jace able to finish the run with some strength with an assist from Jaden Roberts. So now you're going to get back to more of that counter action. Going to pull Jaden Roberts from the right guard position. He gets his guy. This is Oots getting his guy. And here's another explosive, this time to Jam Miller. So you're mixing it up now. See Oots off the ball right here. See Jaden Roberts. He's getting circled at the right guard position. Watch these two guys. And the left side does a good job again, too. Look at Caden Proctor getting his guy down, turned down. Look at Jaden Roberts there on the edge doing his job. Watch Oots right there. And so now you've got the crease and Miller with that explosiveness able to hit it. And it's another big run. Alabama doing what it wanted to do there early in the third quarter. Here comes Roydell Williams. Hey, why not get Roydell involved at this point? More of the zone scheme. You see some of these linemen getting to the second level. Pretty good job here by Ja'Cory Brooks right there at the Arkansas 45. Look at him getting enough of the safety. And here comes Roydell making that decisive cut to his left and maximizing this run as well. Nice double initially by Seth McLaughlin and Jaden Roberts. Once again, Booker got his guy. JC trying to wash down the entire left side of the left side of the Arkansas defense. CJ Dupree right there. Look at that block by Dupree at the moment of truth. And now you've got an opportunity for Roydell at the second level to make some decisions. And he makes a good one right here. Plants that right foot, and he is out the gate inside the Arkansas 20-yard line. So now you're in a 3rd and 3 at the Arkansas 12. And I don't know about you, but in this situation, I'm thinking this is probably 2 runs. With the way Alabama's running the football, this is probably 2 runs to get the 3 yards. Sometimes these are dummy checks. They're not actual changes to plays, but 3rd and 3 for Alabama with 11 personnel. Motion the back out at the snap. So now you're pretty much empty. It is just a 3-man pass rush. Jalen, I think, wants to come down to his left, but he doesn't have a clear picture. And with that, he turns into semi-runner mode. Sometimes Jalen is not very decisive in that area of his game. But what you do like, and I know it drives some Alabama fans crazy at times, but he doesn't turn the football over here. He ditches it, paves the way for a 30-yard field goal by Will Reichard. Now, the bad news in all of this is that Alabama, in its first 2 possessions of the third quarter, has rushed for more than 100 yards and has just 3 points to show for it. And that becomes especially problematic by the end of the quarter, as we will show you here shortly. Alabama with 5:16 left in the third quarter. 3rd and 7 for the Crimson Tide from its own 32-yard line. Motion Jalen Hale across the formation. So you get the matchup you want. You want Jalen Hale matched up with a safety here, and you're going to get it. We run it at the snap. Jalen's going to run the crosser. Pretty good protection here. You do have a little bit of leakage, but Roydell does a good job of hanging in there in pass pro. And Jalen's on time with this throw. Hale goes up, attempts to high point a ball that should have been put on his numbers. I mean, ideally, of course, that would be the case, but it is not. It's a little bit high. Jalen has that length. He goes up Devontae Smith style. That's why those comparisons will keep coming up, because these are the type of catches that you would see Devontae make during his time at Alabama. And it's really similar to the one that Jalen made against Ole Miss, where he was able to hang on. He was able to high point and hang on. Look at this. This is really nice body control. That's a tough catch. Give Arkansas's defensive back, give 8 credit there, because he played through the ball. You know, that ball being a little bit high gave him the opportunity to recover and get a hand in there to try to play through and make that finish even more difficult than it was going to be. And you bring the ground into play with that, and it's pretty understandable that Jalen Hale wasn't able to hold on there. And it's a stretch where Alabama starts to go through some 3-and-outs. So it begins to play into this imperfect storm that we're about to witness for Alabama here in the final 17, 18 minutes of this game. But for the time being, everybody's happy. The band's happy. The Crimsonettes are happy. Yeah, 24-6 on homecoming. Got Arkansas backed up in a 3rd and 8. Alabama is going to be in its dime package. So you're again aware to the potential still for run against this look. We've seen it throughout the season. 3rd and 8 with Alabama's dime package on the field is not auto pass for offenses. Why would you, especially with this pass rush? And you get Alabama in a lighter look. And with all that being said, Alabama's in great shape here. Split zone, DeBinion is going to try to bounce it outside into the boundary. He's not a speed guy. Dallas Turner's in good shape here. Here comes Caleb Downs over the top. Kool-Aid's in good shape. Now watch here at about the 30. You'll start to see Jalen Key and the Arkansas receiver here. They get tangled up. And it kind of looks like right there that maybe they're attached at the face mask. Like it's a helmet malfunction. See how they come apart there? But I think it was before that the official on the Arkansas sideline was of the belief that Key had the Arkansas player's face mask. And there at the end, you see it. It looks like both ways, kind of getting after it here. And Deontay Lawson being the consummate leader, you see him jump right in. And he's going to point to Key right here. You'll see it. Watch Deontay. He's kind of telling him, see, scoreboard. You know, we're up 24-6. It's 3rd and 8. They're about to punt. We don't need it. But it is a 15-yard penalty on Jalen Key. And with new life, KJ Jefferson on 2nd and 10 here from the Alabama 47. This is kind of like what we saw from Max Johnson of Texas A&M last week. When I show you the position Alabama's in right here to finish this play with a sack right here, you would like the Crimson Tide's chances. Now, you see the back to the top of the screen, and I think Jefferson briefly sees the back, but he can't get it there because here's more pressure. But he does what he's done so many times over the last 3 or 4 seasons, just kind of anchors himself at 250 pounds, lets pass rushers essentially wash off his back, and then he's into the open field. And he's going to convert this 2nd and 10 with an explosive run. Right here, Justin Aboigbe gets inside a little bit, but then Deontay's still in pretty good shape as far as leverage. And right here, I believe it's Jaheim Otis can't make the tackle. And at that point, Jefferson is out the gate. Still, you've got Arkansas in a 3rd and 5 thinking, hey, hold them to 3 here. It's a 15-point game. Get off the field on third down. Jefferson's going to motion his tight end across the formation. There you see Caleb Downs, and that's letting Jefferson know he's got man coverage with his tight end on the safety. And it's a sort of wheel route with the two outside receivers working inside. And here comes the tight end, Washington, to the top. Caleb kind of gets caught not getting enough on him initially before the release. And now he's in a tough spot and he does what he has to do there in that situation at the goal line. It is pass interference. They're going to call that every time. If you don't get your head around there, they're going to call that. So 1st and goal for Arkansas from the Alabama 5. You see Alabama here in a look in which they've got 8 guys really between the hash marks. And part of that is you still have to defend the run with KJ Jefferson and these backs. What it does for the Arkansas passing attack is create some pretty good windows if they decide to throw the football on 1st down. And this is going to have the look of an RPO, but I think it was pass all the way. They pull the guard, and then also you see DeBinion after the action. See how he's working to the edge as if this is pass pro? And so now your inside receiver here, matched up with Terrion Arnold, is going to work inside. It looked like Terrion was in an outside technique, which freed up this inside release, but you're still in pretty good shape because you've got Caleb Downs right there with his eyes on Jefferson. You got this thing kind of bracketed. You also have 2 inside linebackers there in the middle of the field, but that run action kind of gets them up. And you'll see Campbell right there step up just a little bit. And this is just a really nice throw and catch because Downs is in the initial window. Jefferson gives his receiver just enough time to clear. And between Deontay Lawson and Caleb Downs and Terrion Arnold, it is an Arkansas touchdown. You'll see it one more time here. Again, watch the run action, even though, again, I think this is not a true RPO. I think they're throwing this the whole way. Working that inside route, Downs is in pretty good shape right here, but it's going to be just enough to that secondary window to get the job done for Arkansas in the passing game. Now a 24-13 game, 2nd and 12 for Arkansas. I think this, you heard Nick Saban probably in the post game. He talked about a stunt, a pass rush that Alabama busted. I think this may be it because this just not look right with all these guys into the boundary. You see, 4 Alabama defenders, really 5 if you talk about Tresman Marshall being on the hash mark. And then you're in man coverage here to the top. You're really screwed at this point because you've got no leverage on the quarterback. You're in man coverage, and now your corner is stuck on a wide receiver who's able to do enough to help Jefferson maximize that scramble there. You saw it once again, that rush, you had 3 or 4 guys within 3 or 4 yards of each other. So now 2nd and 10 for Arkansas from the Alabama 38. It is 21 personnel. You've got 2 backs in the game. You got 1 back, it looks like, almost in an H roll there. Almost a double wing with a back. And DeBinion is going to bust the protection on Terrion Arnold. Here comes the corner cat from 3, and he has Jefferson sized up. And this is what Jefferson does. See how he just kind of bends and anchors and just says, I'm 250 pounds, and if you can get me on the ground one-on-one with a corner, good luck to you. And Terrion is doing everything in his power with the momentum that he came with because he's in a hurry, and he's not able to get Jefferson on the ground. And while you're watching Terrion struggle, you're thinking, where's his help? Well, the thing is, Alabama's in man coverage in different areas. So if a guy like Deontay Lawson here comes off of his guy, this is what you've got in the aftermath if you don't get Jefferson on the ground. Deontay comes up, there's the back. Jalen Key was manned up as well on Tesla. Story's able to finish it. You'll see it again here. DeBinion blows the protection. Terrian one-on-one, keeps his head to the outside, does pretty much everything right. Just can't get Jefferson on the ground. There on the hash mark, you see Jalen Key on Tesla. He's got him manned up. He's going to stay with him. Okay, now you start to rally. Here comes Deontay, but he leaves the back, and it's an explosive play for a first down. Alabama now defensively looking to defend the run here on first down. Pretty good job because it looks like a soft edge out there to the right side of the Arkansas offense. But Jalen Key gets off a block. A couple of guys get off blocks. Jahad Campbell with a nice job, Terry and Arnold. And so you've got Arkansas once again in a third down in the red zone. Get them off the field, right? Alabama in its dime package. Two-back formation once again for Arkansas. This is how crazy football is in 2023. Two-back used to mean almost base defense. Now, I don't know if that was 20. Arkansas may not have had a tight end in this, but this is another good concept for Arkansas. You give them some credit for this. You can see it about the 11-yard line up top. See Deontay Lawson and Trey Amos, the corner. This is like a rub concept. Some might call it a pick, a rub. Not sure if Trey was supposed to pass off that guy to Deontay and then get depth on this back into the right flat, who's going to out and up it right there. And so now it looks like maybe Trey's going to do that, but he gets so far inside that he's really covering no one. But Deontay is still running to the pylon here. And it's a well-thrown ball to Dubinion, and it's a touchdown. And suddenly, after a 2-point conversion, Alabama, for all of its offensive success in terms of rushing yards and those things in the third quarter into the fourth quarter, has been outscored in the second half by a total of 15-3. And now Arkansas's got the football back at its own 12 with 8:51 left in the game. Another third down opportunity. And you see Caleb Downs coming from the field here. And I know you get tired of hearing me talk about it, but 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, that's not an auto throw it down for offenses, not against this defense. And so Alabama's light because it is in its dime package. You got some route concepts working out here. So I do think this is true RPO for Arkansas, but I also think Jefferson realizes he's got numbers in the run game here, and not just in terms of bodies, but in size, because Jamarian Latham is not a 300-pound guy working on the point in this look. And you'll see right here what the double team does to him initially. See Jamarian? And that's a nice job by the Arkansas interior because the left guard comes off and is able to get Deontay right there. And now you see this thing just open wide. And you got a one-on-one. Caleb Downs does a nice job of keeping that gain to the yardage that it was. 2nd and 10 for Arkansas now from its own 44 with 7:02 left in the game. 2nd and long. Alabama in its big nickel, thinking this could still be a run and given the personnel in the game, because you do have a tight end here at the bottom of the formation. And this is some good fortune for Alabama here because it is in a slant with its front to the defense's right. You see Alabama slanting here, and Dubinion has a cutback lane that is going to be very beneficial to him in the Arkansas offense. And I think he trips just enough over the Arkansas lineman's feet there, or a blade of grass, or a sniper got him from one of the light towers atop Bryant-Denny Stadium to keep that thing from going big, because I think it was about to. You could see KJ Jefferson's reaction to it because Deontay Lawson was in a tough spot there coming off the edge. You know, do you take the back? You have to account for KJ. And Alabama, again, in that slant, created a big lane there for Dubinion. He wasn't able to take advantage of it. 3rd and 8 now with 6:18 left. And this is where the heroes show back up for Alabama defensively. You got a pass rush game to the right side of the defense with Dallas Turner. And again, Justin Aboigbe does a nice job in that regard as well. The best way to sack KJ Jefferson is with two guys. And you'll see it again, similar to what we saw from Justin earlier when he helped Trez Marshall, just a different type of concept. Justin initially, but it's really Dallas Turner splitting that left guard and tackle with some power there, getting up the field. Even though he's not able to totally finish it there, you've got help on the way with Justin Aboigbe. And again, this is the way you have to approach KJ Jefferson. And it's going to be, I think, part of what you're going to have to do with Joe Milton coming up. Now, this is another big guy, not an easy guy to sack. So it's going to take more than one in some cases, even this next week. And certainly when you start looking ahead to LSU for different reasons, it's probably going to take more than one guy against Jaden Daniels, too. 4:48 left in the football game. 2nd and 8 for Alabama. Here's Jalen. This is pretty good protection against a four-man rush. And this is also pretty good to see because Jalen does get it to the back in the flat. And give Jay some credit here. Not a perfect ball. He makes the grab, then redirects, and it's 5 yards. And you're thinking, you're still going to be playing 3rd and 3. Hey, 3rd and 3 is better than 3rd and 8. Or if Jalen gets sacked, you're playing 3rd and 14. And it proved big in that situation because on the 3rd and 3 that followed, Jalen was able to scramble for the first down, maintain possession in a big, big spot for this Alabama offense and this Alabama football team. So now you've got a 1st and 10 here. And here's something that, again, a situation where it's not just a penalty costing you 5 yards. It comes on a play where it looks like you got the right play call on. So when you think about the loss of 5 yards with the loss of what you might have hit this for, it's more than just a pre-snap infraction here. And you'll see it as Oots lines up to the left of the formation. And you see the safety right there in the middle of the field at about the A. See, he's coming. He's coming. And you're going to replace him, I think, with Jace McClellan right here because you got this blocked up pretty good. Now, it's hard to say for sure that it would have played out this way, but think about this. The safety comes, now Jace hits that, and look at Jace. You think Jace doesn't think that's the case? Look at the reaction from Jace McClellan. Man, we had one there. We were about to be on one with that run. Instead, it's 1st and 15, and with 2:49 left in the game, Arkansas is totally anticipating the run game. So you want to talk about a safety coming down against the run and thinking they're just going to run this thing with zone between the tackles? Well, that's what happens here. And there's that safety again. Watch this hit on Jace McClellan. Give Jace credit too, because that's a situation where the ball can come out. We don't talk about the job Alabama backs have done with ball security enough. And right there, think about how the ball could come out so easily. And Jace takes care of it, takes the big hit. 2nd and 13 now for Alabama with 2:42 left. Jace over trying to get his wits about himself. Roydell comes into the game. You've got the 12 personnel. Now, C.J. Dupree is out. He was injured earlier. So you've got Oots on the ball with Nyblack on his hip here to the right side of the formation. And look, I'm not going to recommend this throw to young quarterbacks at home, but it works out. And I think Seth McLaughlin is a guy who's very thankful for that because watch this swim move on Seth from the Arkansas defensive lineman. And here comes the heat. And Landon Jackson, one more time, is getting the edge against Caden Proctor or Elijah Pritchett. And you see Oots running underneath. Jalen's going to jump throw this thing with a big DL bearing down. And you can see Seth like, oh my goodness. This throw is not recommended. And, I thought about it in real time. I'm thinking that Arkansas linebacker is probably 6 foot. No, that's a 6'4" inside linebacker for Arkansas. And Jalen is still able to get that ball over the top and to Amari Nyblack, who does a nice job because he turns right into a big hit and maintains possession. And it is a huge first down conversion. You'll see it once again right there. Look at the swim move in the middle of the field. So here it comes. Otherwise, you're in pretty good shape other than a left tackle. Jackson's going to get there too. You see Oots running the cross, and Jalen's throwing this thing pretty much at the break. And give him credit, he's accounting for that. He knows it's a dangerous throw in the middle of the field. But to give this thing a chance to be completed, it's going to have some touch, and it's going to have to account for some timing with his receiver. And you look at the Arkansas defense, you got a linebacker there, you got two defensive backs. That's the devil's triangle right there, is what that is. And Jalen Milroe lived to tell about it, as did the Alabama football team on Saturday. First down, Amari Niblack. Again, you see the pressure. You see it right in Milroe's lap, and still gets it done. Now, at the end of that, you can see J.C. Latham right there reaching for his left leg. Didn't like to see that, but it is worth noting, as you'll see here in just a second, that J.C. stays in the football game, which was very good news. So here on 2nd and 8 with 2:22 to go, and from the pistol look, this is kind of a pistol toss. And you know who appreciates this after just getting hammered on that inside zone a few plays earlier? Jace McClellan. Hey, let's get something, anything going to the perimeter so these safeties aren't just absolutely downhill and can blow me up and perhaps cause a turnover. And look, you can fumble the football, you can turn it over on any number of plays, but this is pretty good stuff on the perimeter for Alabama. Gets it blocked pretty well. Good to see J.C. Latham after that scenario we outlined for you. And Jay's going to take care of the football, get it down into a 3rd and 2. And this is similar to what Alabama converted earlier with Ja'Cory Brooks coming into the formation to the left side here. See this? Same type of run, essentially, except Brooks this time is going to block down, and Jace is able to set it up just enough. Pretty good work by Danny Lewis, who came off the bench in the game, because you had CJ Dupree go out, and Alabama able to basically end the football game there on that 3rd and 2. What you didn't like for the second straight week is shenanigans in the final minute and a half. This time, we'll show this to you. And this is why I think coaches probably need to watch the broadcast version as well. And I love all 22 like everybody else does. In fact, last week on the roundtable, I was asked about doing all 22, and I have access to all 22. The problem is the all 22s don't usually, at least the ones I have access to, don't get loaded until Tuesday or Wednesday of the next week. And by that point, we're really moving on to the next opponent for Alabama. But there's value in this, because you're seeing here, Jace McClellan and Roydell Williams are trying to tell Jermaine Burton, look, just chill out. Game's over. We don't need any unsportsmanlike penalties, anything like that. You see Jace essentially pleading with Jermaine Burton. Now, the official, I thought, was also talking to Jermaine, but it may have been that he was communicating with the white hat. I don't know if it was specific to Jermaine, but what you see here is you still got 10 on the play clock. So you're not in a hurry. And this also goes on Jalen, because you got to turn around and check your guys. The one thing you have to do here as the quarterback, a couple things. You got to make sure your guys are lined up and set, and then possess the football and kneel it down. But you see Jace here. He's trying to chill out Burton. And so Jalen's ready to go. Jace turns around. Now he's moving. He's in a hurry because he sees that his quarterback's ready to take the snap. And in doing so, he's moving forward at the snap. It's a false start against Jace McClellan, who is trying to exhibit the leadership skills you want. And that's probably the best way to leave this one. Alabama 24, Arkansas 21. The Crimson Tide improves to 6-1 on the season, 4-0 in the Southeastern Conference, with a huge matchup with those Tennessee Volunteers coming up next Saturday at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Travis Reier, thanking you once again for joining us here on the YouTube and podcast homes for BamaOnLine.com. If you haven't subscribed to our new YouTube channel, we certainly hope you'll take the time to do that right now. Turn on those notifications as well. A lot of new video content dropping on the new YouTube channel. Find out first right there with us at BamaOnLine.com, the roundtable or premium message board. You're going to want to post up there if you haven't already. Again, thanks for joining us here on Second Watch. And until next time, so long, everybody.